Dr. Don Colbert. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
I've heard of you for decades. You're like a legend.
I've been around for many years.
Well, but not everybody in our audience might know who you are. So can you just give us a quick little bio and then we'll jump into your book?
Well, sure. I've been a medical doctor for now about 35 years. Been practicing solo practice in 2 offices, Orlando, Florida, and in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And at first I did family practice, board certified in family practice, but then the Lord shifted me in the 1990s to more nutritional medicine and age management medicine and anti-aging and preventive medicine. So we found an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. And now I use mainly healthy diets like Beyond Keto, nutritional supplementation, bioidentical hormones, and forgiveness therapy. I take so many people through forgiveness therapy because unforgiveness literally opens the door to almost every disease that you can imagine.
Wow.
So we've been doing that for over 30 years.
Amazing. Never even thought of that. That's pretty cool. And you have your book called Beyond Keto.
Yes.
And of course, we want to encourage you to hop on the phone and get on the website, grab your copy. This is a really great book. But what's the premise behind this? Why keto?
Well, because most everyone that comes in my office has insulin resistance or prediabetes, or they're overweight or obese. And so the reason being is because most Americans are eating too much sugar, too many carbohydrates, especially processed carbs, and too many starches. And this causes blood sugar levels to rise, insulin levels to rise, belly fat to be deposited in the abdominal area, which in turn creates inflammation and literally invites every disease into the body. So the reason being is because for years, the U.S. dietary guidelines have been recommending that we consume between 45 and 65% of our calorie intake as carbs and starches. If we do that, we're going to be either pre-diabetic, diabetic, or insulin resistant. It's just pure and simple, and obese. So I developed the keto diet years ago, but then I found out a lot of people had developed high cholesterol and certain inflammatory issues. They were choosing the wrong fats, lots of dairy, lots of saturated fats, not enough fiber, and not enough veggies, and not enough fish oil. So I changed it, especially I had an aha moment when I went to Greece years ago. And in Greece, they consume about 40% of their calories as fat, but mainly in the form of olive oil. They eat a lot of fish. They don't have near the inflammatory diseases we have over here, nor their obesity. And even though a high percent smoke, about almost 40% smoke, they have an amazingly low incidence of lung cancer. And I said, how can this be? It's because they follow a Mediterranean diet with lots of olive oil, healthy fats, lots of veggies, lots of fiber. So I said, that's the key. We've got to decrease especially these carbs, sugar, starches, and especially the processed carbs, and eat more of a healthy keto Mediterranean diet. And see, I would say at least 95 to 99% of keto diets are unhealthy. Simply because of too much dairy. Dairy is inflammatory for most people. In fact, it's the second most common food allergy I see. But also, there's not near enough fiber. 95% of Americans don't eat enough fiber. We don't eat enough veggies. And so, again, we're putting in the right oils, especially olive oil. Most Americans consume about 35% of their calories as fat, but it's inflammatory fat that's creating high cholesterol, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and every autoimmune disease. Most every chronic disease is inflammatory in nature. So the Beyond Keto diet uses the healthiest of the fats, the healthy proteins, and the low glycemic carbs. And what we do is we put that fuel mixture together with the right fiber, with the right veggies, and we create a fuel mixture that literally prevents most every disease. We let literally your food become your medicine. And it's so powerful, we're able to prevent and start to reverse most diseases.
Man, I'm telling you, you totally need to hop on the phone, get on the website, grab your copy of Beyond Keto. And honestly, I think you ought to get at least 3 to 5 copies, pass them out to your friends, because I'll bet you one of the things I like about this is it's not a diet, it's more speaking into the lifestyle and how you eat and adjusting that. And I like in here One of the things I really like is all the recipes.
Yes. And plus, what I help them is when people attain their goal weight, then we'll make a metabolic shift over to the Mediterranean keto diet. And that enables them to maintain their weight. But what happens with keto that most people don't understand, when your body undergoes nutritional ketosis, your body undergoes a metabolic shift from burning sugar as your primary fuel source to burning fat and ketone bodies. It's a superior fuel source for your brain and for your body, and it decreases inflammation dramatically. You see, when you burn sugar, carbs, and starches as fuel, it's a dirty fuel. It's kind of like diesel fuel, where you see that plume of smoke coming out of that diesel engine, you're behind it, you have to roll your windows up real fast. Well, when you burn sugar, it is an inflammatory fuel, and it starts to damage your mitochondria, which you have mitochondria in every cell that produces energy. The most is in your brain and in your heart, because it never stops. But also in every cell in your body, you have mitochondria. And what happens, the more sugar you burn, the more it burns out your mitochondria, where they produce less and less energy, or ATP. That's real energy. So the keto diet makes that metabolic shift. It only takes about 14 hours for many people to make that metabolic shift. But in some people, if they're pre-diabetic or diabetic, it may take them as long as 2 or 3 weeks to make that metabolic shift. But as they do this, literally their body will make that conversion from burning sugar as their fuel to burning fat, and then inflammation decreases dramatically. And that's what I did when I had severe psoriasis. I cut out all of those sugars and inflammatory foods that were creating, fueling the psoriasis that I had. And I've done this with every disease pretty much out there, especially type 2 diabetes. Amazing how this helps if we catch it in time. Now, once you've had diabetes for over 10 years, or over 20 years, you probably burned out a lot of your beta cells that produce insulin. So if you're a type 1 diabetic, I tell people do not stop taking your insulin. But it's amazing how the keto diet done well can sometimes, if caught soon enough, reverse even type 1 diabetes. That was unheard of before. But now you can we've had reports. We're seeing that's actually, if you follow a healthy keto diet, actually type 1 in some cases can be reversed. Now others can't, but again, I think we're getting closer to some major answers with this.